I watched AEW Dynamite last night, and I saw two babyfaces in the main event segment cutting a promo on each other. Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega, and I thought to myself, man, if only Cody Rhodes and CM Punk could be this good. Because at first I thought, well, maybe it's just, I've been thinking it's like maybe babyface versus babyface promos just suck. And typically, like, they do kind of, sort of. But then I watched last night's main event segment between those two, and, well, it was kind of good, honestly. And if Punk and Cody could do what those guys did last night, I'd actually be thinking that that was a banger feud heading into SummerSlam. Instead, but you know what? Let's talk Dynamite, not WWE. And actually, let's talk a little bit of Redemption also. So, I did not watch the Redemption pay-per-view. I had to work, I believe. I have a lot of stuff going on. I apologize. I can't, until I can do wrestling content full-time, I'm not able to watch wrestling every single day. I know, sacrilege for a wrestling YouTuber, right? But that said, I did catch the highlights, and what I really liked about Redemption was the final segment. The Jet, he lost, right? And then you got Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega, they're celebrating, and then the Death Riders come. John Moxley's like, fine, you won't pull the trigger? I'll pull the trigger. Loved that. John Moxley, He has always worn his intentions on his sleeve, and I appreciate that. He doesn't pretend to be a good guy. He doesn't pretend to be a bad guy. He's John Moxley. And I appreciate that he comes out to just attack Kenny Omega. And everybody does that. And Will Ospreay's like, no, you can't do it. He tries to give him the bag. Now, I was not watching AEW when they murdered Daniel Bryan with the bag, but I remember hearing all about it. And so I was like, ooh, the bag is back. The bag is back. WWE would be selling plastic bags for $39.95 if they had that opportunity. But anyways, the bag is back. He rips it up, and he saves Kenny Omega. Yay, Will Ospreay, way! And then Kenny Omega that's murder, but takes out Will Ospreay. And I was like, yeah, Kenny Omega, that's what you should do. And I'm going to say this, I've not really liked Kenny Omega for the most part, but I think I became a Kenny Omega fan. I really like that. And that just puts Will in this really awkward position of he just left the Death Riders and now his best friend is kind of like, well, definitely not kind of, but like just nailed him with his finisher. What does he do? He's an island unto himself, but he's still a babyface. So I liked it. I was very intrigued going into Dynamite. And so here we are, Dynamite. We instantly start the show with, I think it's Will Ospreay. He's walking, and the Death Riders are there. I think Renee Paquette is there also, but the Death Riders are just waiting. They walk up to him. He just nails Yuta. I know the guy's name's Yuta. I don't remember his first name. Or is Yuta his first name? The guy, maybe he's like Madonna. And he only has one name. Yuta, he hits him, and then John Moxley's like, nope. Let's wait. You got it all figured out, don't you? Okay. And he gives him back the patch. He held that patch for 2 weeks. Did he even put it on anything? Did he actually even patch it onto anything? I don't know. Maybe it was just in his wallet. But anyways, he gives it back, and John's like, okay, fine, whatever. I guess you know what's going on. And so then we have he goes. Will Ospreay keeps walking, and there's Adam Page. Now, I do like that Hangman Adam Page did say, I was going to help you if things got a little rough, but, here I am. And he's like, if you need any help, I'm here for you. I can't get challenged for the title anymore because he lost a match against MJF where he lost the opportunity to challenge for the title, if he's a man of his word, that is. And so he's like, but I'll help you. And then Will Ospreay, rightly so, said, well, Kenny Omega turned on me, so I don't know if I can trust you. Because I guess Adam Page is part of Kenny Omega's clique. You know, the Elite, B-E Elite. Also, by the way, side note here, this is a one-take, one-shot review. I don't have any time to edit anything. I wasn't even sure. I thought I might even break my streak of videos. I think I've gone every day for over a year and a half now on videos, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to make today. So I got to do this with no cuts, no edits, no nothing. Also, there is a chance that this is my last AEW video. It doesn't seem like the sickos like my content, and it's fine. I don't mind when people hate watch me because, you know, it's at least a view. But it doesn't seem like I don't even got haters when it comes to my AEW content. I've got nothing. And in the world of professional wrestling, the worst thing you can be is people be apathetic to you. You can have people love you, you can have people hate you, but apathy will kill you. And it looks like my AEW videos are being met with apathy. So if this might be my last AEW video, if you're only here for AEW content, I totally understand if you want to unsubscribe. Thank you so much for your support. I don't know if this is my last video or not. It might be, it might not be. We'll see next week. And maybe I'll just do videos here and there. But, like, for real, if you're just a sicko, and I mean, I appreciate you being here. I'm not trying to be like, get out of here, be gone, be gone. No, I'm saying that, like, the contract was I'm going to produce AEW content on Thursdays, and you subscribe for that reason. And I'm breaking the contract. Ooh, maybe Adam Page breaks his contract. I'm sorry. So I might not do videos anymore on Thursdays of AEW content, so I can understand why. Well, you know, if you don't like WWE, then there's no point of being on this channel. But if you want to just stay just because, you know, like, I don't know, maybe you want to get the updates, then please do stay. I'm not kicking anybody out. And I might even continue doing AEW video, but this is me officially saying that I might not from this point forward, because it just doesn't seem like people are liking it. But hey, you know what? Who knows? Maybe a million people will watch this. Oh man, now I'm distracted. Maybe a million people will watch. Let me take this call real quick. Okay, sorry. So it looks like I will have a cut. That's my job. Never fully off. What was I talking about though? I don't even remember what I was talking about. But yeah, so there's a chance. Apathy is the worst thing you can have for a wrestling channel. So if people don't want to watch the content, I fully get it. I don't blame anybody. If my AEW content was better, then more people would be watching it. You know, at the end of the day, it's my fault, not yours, that you don't, or that sickos don't want to watch my channel. And I firmly believe that. I'm not fishing for compliments. And I hold that standard to WWE as well, or AEW. If people are not watching the content, then what are you doing to get people to watch? And then apparently I haven't been doing enough, but at the same time, I don't know what to do in order to get more people to watch based on my schedule. Therefore, I might stop. Anyways, let's go to AEW. What was I talking about? So our first match, our first match is Andrade versus Nick Wayne versus Jungle Boy. Love Jungle Boy's song, man. That song is dynamite. But was weird though, because weren't like those two guys, not Andrade, weren't they in a ladder match to see if they got a shot at this title? So why do they just suddenly get a shot for the title? Plus, why does Andrade have to fight in a triple threat match to defend his title? So that was a little weird, but at the end of the day, good match. Andrade living his best life. Love that for him. The Detroit crowd. Oh, I know that theater they were in, because my friends, I had friends who were really big in the music underground scene in Detroit. Not big like ICP, but they were downtown Brown, and we would go to that theater, and it was, oh man, brought back memories. I wish I was there. I miss Detroit so much. If anywhere in the world, honest to God, if I could go live anywhere in the world, It'd be Detroit. I love that city. But yeah, c'est la vie, said the old folks. Goes to show you never can tell. I'm pretty much stuck in Houston. What was I saying? So yeah, Andrade wins. It's fine. It's whatever. Let's see. What else do we have going on here? I'm going to try to do no more cuts. Will Ospreay's confronted national championship. The Brawling Birds say they want Divine Dominion. We'll face MIT on Collision. I don't know what MIT is. I must have missed that segment because I don't remember that segment actually. I'm looking at the AEW review highlights, but I do remember Bandito, Brody King, and Bandito with Speedball facing Mike Bailey. No, that he is Mike Bailey. The Don Callis family. Kyle Fletcher, The Machine, and Jake Doyle. This was the first time I really paid attention to Jake Doyle. That dude is, like, impressive. That dude is very impressive. But Bandito is maybe even more impressive. I remember Bandito got him up on his shoulders. I was like, whoa, how tough is this guy? And then, honestly, Speedball Mike Bailey is still a dork, but I'm starting to kind of like him. And is this why he's called Speedball? Because one time he literally he jumped off the top rope and he kind of got into a ball position and then landed on you. Is that why he's named Speedball? Or is it because he's fast? But he looked like a ball. He actually looked like a ball. So I was wondering, I was like, oh, that's why he's called that. And he won. And he's facing Kyle Fletcher. Oh, so no. So that explains that. Jack Perry and Nick Wayne, they lost the ladder match, but the ladder match was for Kyle Fletcher. But because they lost, they were in a different championship match. So it's a little not the same, but it's still kind of the same at the same time. But yeah, Kyle Fletcher was he tried to get the save, and then Mike Bailey and him just kind of looked at each other at the end, but not in a weird way, in a haha, I'm coming for you, and uh-oh, you're coming for me kind of way. So, yeah, it wasn't bad, and I'm starting to actually like Mike Bailey. I don't know why. For real. The first month of me reviewing AEW stuff, I was like, this guy's a dweeb, and that's coming from me. I'm like King Nerd. King Nerd, you're a dweeb. We got Mark Davis, he wants a matchup against Will Ospreay just because. Now, he masked it as, I lost my match and I'm mad, so I want to fight you. But, I guess they're kind of giving a reason. But at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe he should have just came out and started attacking people. But that should be good. I remember that was a really good, they fought a month ago or something. It was the week after All In, or the week after All In. That was a good match, but that had 8 million people interfering, so we'll see how many people interfere on this one. Probably no one. They'll probably just give it to Will Ospreay because they gotta heat him up. Cage and Cope versus the Young Bucks. They had a sit-down interview, and at first I was like, oh god, they were just kind of glazing each other. And I was like, geez, man, I can't get away from these respect feuds because WWE does them all the time. And I was thinking that they were going to be here. And it kind of started off that way. I don't know which one's Nick, which one's Matt. Nick and Matt. Is it Nick and Matt? Yeah, Nick and Matt. I said Zach one time. A couple months ago, but Nick and Matt. And then Edge starts doing it. Oh yeah, we respect you. And then Christian saves the day. And he's like, yeah, this isn't a retirement tour. And by the way, I'm glad the moms are going to be there. Oh, love Christian. And after that, it didn't break down into they didn't they weren't hating on each other, but the more they complimented each other, the more it seemed like it was yeah, we're going to kick your butt. We're going to kick your butt. We don't care what your accomplishments are. So, it was very nuanced and good. Really, really good. This was, 2 times tonight they had respect feuds kind of going on, but they did it right where it felt like there was some kind of heat and animosity. So I give tons of credit to Tony Khan, Edge and Christian, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay for making a feud of baby faces still feel like there's some tension here. Like, you go watch Penta and Chad Gable. There's no tension whatsoever. That's just going to be a good old match. And sorry, I keep bringing up WWE stuff. It's just, I'm a WWE guy, so like I gotta compare. Some people say you can't compare, and I don't know. I do that. My favorite YouTuber actually says comparison is the thief of joy. That's Simon Miller, and I don't know. I compare, so I guess my joy has been stolen. Love Simon Miller. He gets a golden up. Then we have Jon Moxley versus Commander. I love Commander. Like, I have like, Commander is I think he's the guy that I like the most, that I had zero knowledge of 2 months ago, that I have since watching AEW, and now I love Commander. He is like, he runs the ropes. Like, boy howdy, I like, how on earth? Just, wow. He has won me over by purely his wrestling. I've never seen him. I'm a promo guy. I'm a story guy. But Commander, he's won me over purely on his wrestling and his character in ring. So, unfortunately, he lost, though. Jon Moxley won. It was the right call to have Jon Moxley win. And I love Jon Moxley on the outskirts. He did an interview, and he was like, oh, the morality police. The morality police. Jon Moxley. Mox is so awesome. Oh, at one point, there was a... They cut to the announcers, and someone in a shark costume came out, and I just thought, I was laughing so hard, because for one, if that happened in WWE right now, and rightfully so, because WWE has sold out, but if that happened in WWE, boy, they would burn down the internet if a mascot came out. And I understand. But it was so funny because Taz looked like he wanted to be anywhere but there. And Tony Schiavone is singing the Baby Shark song. Do 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 do, baby shark, 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 baby shark. And the mask guy, whatever his name is, he just keeps going about how it's Shark Week. I thought it was so funny. I was like, more shark. If you ever think you're a failure, by the way, there's a joke. Oh man, how is the joke? If you ever think, the joke is this. If you don't have a date on Valentine's Day, don't worry about it. Valentine's is just one day, but people who don't have a shark for Shark Week, that's an entire week of not having a shark. I think I butchered that joke, but you get the point. I'm sorry. The Bang Bang Gang challenges the Dogs and the Death Riders for Collision. Okay. I'm not feeling the Bang Bang Gang. I know Jay White is supposed to be like huge, but like I'm just not feeling him. I'm waiting for something bigger to happen for me to connect with him. But I'll tell you who I did connect with tonight. Willow Nightingale. So like, Willow Nightingale kind of appeared like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I didn't see what the big deal was. Tonight I saw it. I really enjoyed her promo. I really enjoyed how the fans love her. I really enjoyed how she just was like, your comeback story can be even better. It really resonated with me too, because I do have a personal history with some mental health disease issues and stuff, and that's not a joke. I know I make a lot of jokes, but like, and I'm not like fishing for compliments or anything, but like, it did resonate with me, and I really appreciated that. And I think tonight I became a Willow Nightingale fan, but I'm still more of a Mercedes Moné fan. Mercedes comes out and she's like, whatever, sign the contract. But I like that Willow Nightingale didn't like back down, but she signs the contract and she puts it right on Moné's chest, and Moné's like, oh. Yeah. And Willow like gives a speech, and then Mercedes like, you know what I hate about you? You know what, like, she wasn't even listening. She's like, you know what I hate about you? Like, it was so good. That's how you do a contract signing. AEW even knows how to do contract signings better than WWE at this point. Or at least tonight. They were on fire tonight. So that was just good stuff. Eventually there's a beatdown on the Divine Dominion come and start beating up Willow Nightingale, because I guess they're aligned with Monet. But then we have the Brawling Birds. They come out and attack, and so that's that. We will have the trios, the AEW trios match, versus the Demand, the Conglomeration versus the Demand. I still don't understand what the conglomeration is. It's Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly versus Ricochet, Bishop Cohn, and Teo Leone. Other people got involved. It was Jay Lethal and his guys, and it ended up being the Demand win. And I don't understand why Brody King came out to help and why Adam Page came out to help. I mean, unless it was just to get Adam Page in there because, he's a big deal. Feels like they should have, his return should have been a bigger deal. Because it just feels like kind of random. Unless he's about to feud with Ricochet. I don't know. Maybe they had some beef before Ricochet. But I was assuming that Adam Page left after he lost to MJF. So I don't know. It was a little random. That was a little random. Because I was also like, why is Brody King here? There was also a match, the TBS Championship match. I'm trying to see it. Okay. Maya World versus the CMLL champion Persephone. So I don't like that, so I'm not a big CMLL fan, but I do know that they're a big deal, right? And they're a promotion, and their top champion lost tonight to the secondary champion in AEW. I do not like jobbing out. No matter what, I don't like jobbing out the champion of a federation to somebody that is not another. I don't even understand why you would allow champion versus champion of two brands and let your champion lose. For example, like TNA letting their champion lose in WWE and or AEW, unless the belt is actually changing hands. But like here, Persephone lost. Now she was protected. I will grant that because Chris Statlander came out and so did someone else, and they kind of like the last TBS champion, Sheba or something. She came out, gave a kendo stick, and then Persephone was going to use a kendo stick, but then Statlander grabbed it, which allowed Maya World to win. So I'm glad Maya World's getting the push because, that's a cool story of her only being AEW for like a cup of coffee and now she's champion. But no matter what, it's a hard rule for me that I don't like the top champion of another promotion losing. So I wish we would have done something different there. I'm not saying let Maya World win or make Maya World lose, but I am saying maybe don't have this match because I don't like the top champion losing. I don't like when Dominic Mysterio, the top champion of AAA, lost to Oba Femi, and I'm a huge Oba Femi supporter, and Oba Femi should beat Dominic Mysterio, but just don't do the match. Don't have your AAA champion lose to Oba Femi. Don't have your CML champion lose to Maya World. Unless you're going to change the belt, that is. Then we have, I think that's it. We come to the final segment, Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega, and I like that Kenny Omega wasn't a moron. He said, I was getting my bearings straight, and I know you came and saved me. I could hear it, and then when I look up, you have a torn bag from Redemption. He's like, that's what took you so long. You had to think about it. We're friends, man. You kind of told me that I had given up on the dream, and I remember he did say you had given up. Will Ospreay had said that to Kenny Omega a couple of weeks back, and Kenny Omega was like, I gave up. I didn't give up. I was like putting our friendship first. 10 out of 10 times I put our friendship first. And it's like, this was just a really good babyface first babyface like promo. Like, I still feel like, yeah, maybe Kenny Omega's a little more on the heel side. Maybe Kenny Omega's like 60% heel now and 40% babyface, as opposed to Will, 50-50, or I don't know, whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I don't feel like these guys are bad guys, but I do feel like they are putting the belt first, which they should, and their friendship is crumbling. And I think that good stuff. Good stuff. If this was CM Punk, Cody Rhodes doing this kind of promo work, I'd be chef's kiss it. So like, I do appreciate what I saw last night. And if you haven't seen the promo, I would go check it out. I've been very critical on Kenny Omega's promos, and this was a good one. I think there was only one time where I was like, is that like, sometimes he uses like these big words, these big transitional words, and at first I thought he was scripted, and maybe he's actually just well learned. I don't know, but like sometimes it does come across a little forced. But now as I'm starting to watch more and more of Kenny Omega, I think when Kenny Omega doesn't have to be pure babyface, his promos do come across more real and authentic. And yes, he's still a babyface, I think, but not like, he's not white meat babyface now. Now he's a thigh, dark meat babyface. And I think his promo was a lot better. Will Ospreay did lead a little too heavy in the football, the soccer reference at the end. And I thought it kind of did take me a little out of it, but maybe for the people all rest of the world, they were probably like, woo, football. But for me, it took me a little out of it, because it was like there was like 3 minutes left, and the last 2 minutes dealt with like New England and their penalty box or something. So I was like, I wish if he was gonna do the sports reference, if he would have done it closer to the beginning of his promo, because after that, there's only a minute left before we cut off the air, and so I was left a little on the. A little disconnected by the end of the promo, but Kenny did great stuff here, and so did Will Ospreay as a whole. They did do an overrun, and while I do appreciate the overrun to a certain extent, because it's like you never know when it's going to end. It's not like, oh, well, in 30 seconds the show's going to end, so they got to wrap it up. I will say, on a day like this where I have very little time, I was like, oh, hurry up, I want to watch this, but like, I don't know when it's going to end, and I got stuff to do. Because I wasn't like, yeah, so the overrun can be, it's a catch-22. Sometimes it's great because it's unpredictable, and sometimes it's bad because you got things to do and it's unpredictable. But overall, I really enjoyed myself. Tonight on Dynamite, and I hope they can keep this momentum. But it was good. It was very, very good. And if I would probably give this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chops out of 10. I enjoyed myself. If this is my last AEW video, well, then I went out with a bang. See ya, bye.